Hello everybody. Next off the pile is a trio of Stanley Sweetheart planes. Let's take a look at them. So what we have here is three of the Stanley steel planes. Up front's an S4 and the two behind it are the S5s. These are all made in the Sweetheart era. They were Stanley's indestructible plane. I can see right up front that they've all got the proper iron. Got the Sweetheart trademarks. They're all show signs of use because they've been sharpened down a little bit. Full length iron will be up covering the lateral adjustment. Like most of the planes I get, they're dirty. Hard to tell exactly what I've got. Good news is all the wood looks good. I don't see any breaks. A few of the ones I've done before have had some major rust, and they are more prone to pit than what the cast iron bases were. At least that's my experience, and I've done a lot of these S-planes. So it's time to break them down. Wow, so there you have it. This breakdown resulted in 69 separate pieces. That's a lot of work. So there they all are. Only one surprise during the breakdown. Yep, one of the totes was broken. So it can't be that easy. I always got to have something to fix. That's not bad. 1 out of 3. First thing I'm going to do is glue that tote back together. This type of tote repair is pretty simple, straightforward. Gorilla Glue and electrical tape. I showed you how to do it in one of my other videos. Pretty much all you have to do is apply the glue and use the electrical tape to clamp it together. Next thing I'm going to do is deep sink the bases and the frogs. Use some simple green and a scrub brush. Clean them up real good. So after scrubbing the bases and the frogs, it's obvious to me that the finish is not salvageable. So I'm going to have to strip them all down, put my own finish on, and if you ever worked on any of these, you'll find out real quick that Stanley didn't use their Japanning on the steel planes. It's a thin coat, and if it wasn't a thin coat, you wouldn't be able to see the number on them, because it would fill that right in where it says number S4 right there, and hard to see, but you got an S5 on this one, and same on this one here. That would fill in with the Japanning. So it's a thin coat of paint. Another neat thing that I learned that I never noticed before is that there was a couple different frogs they used. While they do look the same at first glance, you look at the one on the right and look at the squares at the bottom, they're different. And when you flip them over on the back side, the difference shows up again on the one on the right where your lateral adjustment hooks in. That's a better frog because it's thicker there, got more steel. Wouldn't be as prone to break as what these two would over here. This frog was on the number 4 and the two that matched were on the number 5s. So the next thing I want to do is see how my favorite stripper performs before my wife wakes up. Yep, I think I'm just going to stand here and watch while my stripper takes it all off. Yeah, but I'm just kidding. I don't have time to waste. The finish on the tote and knobs, it doesn't look salvageable, and the one that's broke, of course, is going to have to be redone regardless. So that's next. Get my scraper, remove the old finish, and prep them for new. And just in case you haven't seen it on my other videos where I show you the scraper, that's all it is. It's a razor knife blade with a burr on the edge. So I've made a little progress. I cleaned off the stripper, bead blasted the bases and the frogs, and then cleaned them up. Got them ready for putting a finish on. The broken tote has been repaired. Everything's been sanded, steel wooled, and ready to put a finish on. Here's a quick look at all the parts in the paint booth. And behind it, all that's stacked in the corner, that's the pile. Here's the bottom tub, all block planes. plenty to get to. So it's been a whole week since I started this project, and I'm at the point where it's time to put it back together. All the parts are completed. The bases are looking like new again. Lever caps cleaned up. Redid the red, and that's something that's only in the steel planes. Stanley used orange and all the others, and red around the lettering for the steel planes. The tote in the back is the one that was broken. It's repaired, all three of them refinished, the new decals have been applied. Irons are razor sharp, ready to go. All the small parts are cleaned up. Everything's lubricated, waxed. Knobs look real good. Same with the frogs. So these should make three beautiful planes. I want to show you some stuff that's kind of wouldn't go noticed about these things. First of all, on these bases, big difference between the number 4 and the 5s is you can see the 5s are riveted together and the number 4 looks like it's been spot welded together. You see the rivets at the front of the frog mount right there. No rivets. So that's a significant difference. Another difference is the Y adjustment levers for the number 5s have a number 101 on the back of the curve, and the one for the number 4 doesn't. And on the back side of the frogs, they're all marked M181, except for the number 4's marking is in a different place than where the ones are for the number 5. And while the lever caps look the same, when you flip them over to the back side, you see they're also different. The lever caps for the number 5s are on the right, and the one for the number 4 is on the left. And the last thing I want to show you that I found before I start putting them together is this one iron right here is one of the rare ones where the sweetheart mark has been double struck. Front and back, strong markings. You don't very often see that. And we'll take a close-up look at the repaired tote. If you remember, that base was broke off. There's how it looks now. And a look at the other side. So that's a good repair. So it's time now to put all these parts back together and test drive the planes. There they are, all back together. Let's take a look and see how they turned out. Not too bad looking old planes here. You can tell they've all been used. The irons are sharpened down a little bit. But all in all, for being old steel planes, they look pretty good. Here's a look at them from the back side. And we'll take a look at the bottoms. This one's got some shallow pitting near the back. Lapping them out on the steel can be done, but it's a lot of work. Now it's time to find out if they work as good as they look. I've got my 1 5/8 inch poplar in the vise, and we're going to see what the S4 will do. It's rolling them up like cash register tape. Aggressive is when they shoot straight up in the air, but it's doing a sweet job. I'd say an excellent plane. Made really, really nice shavings. It's on to the next one. So this one is the S5 with pitting on the back side. It took all of about 30 seconds to adjust this one. And it is nice. This one's shooting them up nice and thin. Look at that. It's easy to say this one's a keeper. Look at that. Yep, this plane does a fine job. Whoever gets this one's going to be happy. One more to go. So this one's the S5 with the double trademark stamp on the iron. Then the other one, I don't know why. And it pushes harder. But that could just be because I didn't sharpen this one quite as sharp as the other one. Just doing a fine job. It's rolling them up in the throat. Every once in a while it shoots one out. There she is. It's almost like work testing 3 of them. So overall, the old steel-bodied planes perform very well. If I had to pick one that would be my favorite, it would be the one with the pitted bottom, because it just was real easy to set, and it was the smoothest of all of them on the planing. So the triplets are done. It's not something I plan to do soon again. It just takes so much longer. You don't get that gratification of knocking one out really quick. But I got 3 of them done, and they should be listed on eBay coming up in May. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Hope you learned something about the steel planes. Got to look through the pile, see what's next, and it's time for supper.